What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Alex, MTV Alex, and as you can see, I am trail bound with my son. And in this video, I'm gonna attempt to do a quick review on the Mongoose Ardor as this comes out of the factory. I haven't done anything besides trying to adjust the brakes and make sure everything's tightened up. This review is gonna be a little bit different because the trail might be a little bit wet. Plus, there's already a couple of reviews from Wolftick and Evans MTV Saga about this bike, so we all know how this thing is gonna perform. I just wanna do mine real quick. Hopefully I can hit the trail normally before I do the upgrades. But if you haven't, please make sure go ahead and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. If you want to support the channel, there's a link down in the description. And other than that, let's ride. That's my son Alex, Velociraptor Plays. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of gaming stuff. So let's ride. All right, so we're right here on the trail already, and riding the Mongoose Ardor stock. The only thing I did was to put in a chain protector because even with the clutch derailleur, the Pro Rush clutch derailleur, I know that's gonna be one of the issues in this bike. I basically already know what are the issues gonna be as almost any other big box bike. The fork, the chain slap, and the brakes, even the pedals, maybe even the pedals. So those are the four things: fork, brakes, chain slap, and pedals. The four things that I'm gonna be looking for, or that we already know what's gonna happen with this bike. Okay, so let's keep riding for a little bit longer. Let me see if you can see right there, Velociraptor Plays. And the back camera is gonna get splashed with water because there's still a lot of water over here, and he did not care. So I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to hit the jumps or anything like that, but like I said, that's not gonna be my main focus because we know that this fork is just not meant for that. This is just for casual riding. I've been riding this bike already for like a mile, and I can already tell that the front end it feels really heavy. So, and I seen the fork, and I can probably take a few scenes in a little bit to show you how much flex the original fork has. And it's just trash. To make it a bike, a trail worthy bike, you cannot do it on that stock fork. Now let's talk about a little bit more about the shifter and the derailleur. We have I think it was a 7-speed, shifting easy, crisp, smooth, no issues on shifting. Let me get on the shaded area, wait for my son. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to ride this trail. It's probably gonna be way too wet. Okay, so yes, it is a 7-speed, not cassette, freewheel, 14 to 38 tube. This is the biggest range freewheel that I have ever seen. So for starters, I wish it was a cassette, but it's not. So we're gonna have to deal with that later. So yes, the shifter and derailleur is a Pro Rush 7-speed shifter and a clutch derailleur, which for the application is pretty good. I'm still expecting to have some chain slap, so that's why I put in a chain protector on this bike already, because I don't want to damage the paint. And I know even this big box bikes, they're always gonna have issues with the shifter and derailleur as well. So shifting out of the box, it was almost perfect. I just had to do some micro adjustments to it to make it fit, to make it shift as it should. And then, hold on, let me show you. I don't know if you can clearly see, but we have a thumb and index shifter. So thumb, you can shift like 3 up at a time or down at a time, and index shifting, it's only index. You can only go this way. You cannot press it into shift. You cannot push it into shift. You have to press it in to shift. So basically towards you with your index finger, and it does it one at a time to go to the higher gears. So not bad. I mean, I guess the 7-speed, if this was compatible with the 8-speed at least, I would probably keep it, but it's not. So we'll see what we'll do about this. Let's see the pedals. So far they're plasticky, not knobby, but they're holding my biking shoes where they need to be. Of course, I'm not doing any jumps or anything crazy like that, so I'm just pedaling. But they seem to be stuck in there where they need to be if I put a little bit of pressure in there. So on that end, they're good. All right, so sorry, I had to change the camera because I cannot find my GoPro Hero 8. So the shots of me and the front wheel are coming from my Hero Session 5, and I'm using my Hero 9 for the chest mount, and the rear one is actually just a Hero Session or Hero Session 4. So hopefully I can make this work. Okay, talking about the tires, let's talk about the wheel. Out of the box, I can see a little bit of wobbling on the front wheel, and I haven't even checked if it's actually the wheel itself or just the tire not seated correctly. I believe it's the wheel out of Thru. Well, we'll see. I guess I keep you updated on that one if I need to do micro adjustments to the but what I want to talk about are the tires. Remember, we have a 27.5-inch wheel with 2.6 tires, Compass branded, something like that, but they actually look just like the ones from the Axum. So these tires, they're for light trail, I believe. Well, I will use them for light trail, but this right here, gravel road, is perfect because they're fast rolling, and you can also take them to the street because they're gonna roll fast and a little drag resistance, which is a great feature of these tires for this type of roads. Now, you don't want to take them downhill or anything like that, or you shouldn't. I guess you can, but it's up to you, I guess. But I wouldn't use them for that. I am not gonna upgrade these tires yet anytime soon, just because I don't have the money for that. It's not on my budget yet, and we'll see what we can come up with. But yeah, I don't know if you can see a little bit of the wobble. Let's look at the fork. It absorbs the bumps kind of easy, but again, remember, I'm not inside the trail, and it has very little travel. It's heavy. It's just not meant for heavy trail use. But it takes, I guess it takes, out of the box, it's a great trail friendly bike, commuter bike, without any upgrades whatsoever. You can still do a lot of things with it, so do not get discouraged. This bike alone for 300 bucks, the frame alone is worth it. The gearing is great for starting. If you don't want to upgrade the rear wheel or hub, you can easily run this free wheel for a long time, especially over here in the Houston area where we don't have a lot of climbs or anything like that. This thing is just perfect for that. All right, so I'm not gonna make this extra long because I don't need to. Again, all the jumping and all that testing of the fork has already been done by Jeremiah from Wolfstick. Check his video out on that one. I just wanted to give my own opinions on this one before I actually take it for the first upgrade coming soon. Before I actually took this bike to the trail, I actually had to mess with the bottom bracket. You've probably seen that already on the previous video. And yes, this bike is worth. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the how to deal with the free wheel. Yes, it is a free wheel. You cannot just put in a higher range cassette in this because it's not the same thing. So there's two options. You can either upgrade the wheel, buy a new wheel cassette compatible, or replace the hub. Replacing the hub is more labor intensive unless you want to take it to a bike shop, but if you want to do it by yourself, you might want to stay tuned, because I actually wanted to do that for the Scout, but I might end up doing it for this one. So stay tuned for that one, or take it to a bike shop. Or the easy route is just to go ahead and buy a new wheel, cassette compatible, be done with that. Let me stop. By the way, I just realized that I forgot to talk about the seat. This shit sucks. Super uncomfortable. That thing's gonna have to go. Let me know what kind of seats you guys recommend, because I have never bought a seat or a saddle before. Something that is comfortable for a 200-pound guy, because I don't have the smallest of a butt out there. Let me stop right here. There he is, taking a break. He's fine, just wet. And the Huffy Scout
Dirty.
is getting dirty. He's getting dirty. He's actually his second ride with me, so he's getting there. He's still learning to shift.
Right?
He says he already knew how to shift. He says that those twist shifters, they're a little bit too tight and they're micro shift, so he tried the ones on my Axum, just the box 4, box 9, box 2, and he says that he liked those better. So whenever I upgrade this, since he has a cassette free wheel with the small range on it, as you can see, that's a little bit of free wheel and a Shimano flat face, I might as well swap them up. Give him this. Once I upgrade this, put this one in there, and it's gonna be almost new because this is the first ride on this one, and I don't plan to keep it too much longer like that.
Yep.
So he's gonna have a way better range and hopefully easier for his fingers to shift, right? All right, now there you have it. That's the geometry on this thing. This thing looks like a beast. Again, final impressions: you gotta replace the fork to start with, okay? And I already have one in, and I'm just gonna keep it budget because I don't want to spend a lot of money on this thing yet, or probably ever. So I'm just gonna keep it low budget, replace the fork. I already have few parts coming in for this thing. I'm gonna be upgrading the brakes, the bottom bracket, cranks, and I might be replacing the hub for a cassette hub. I have one on the way. I have never done that before, but I'm just gonna fork it. I'm gonna do it. Why not? And yep, again, that thing looks sick. I'm gonna remove all the decals. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave the Mongoose in there or not, and if I don't know what I'm gonna do with the decals, but I'm gonna remove most of them. the ones on the chainstay, on the down tube. I remove all the decals and just personalize it to my taste. And yep, stay tuned if you don't want to miss the build on this one. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too crazy on the budget on this thing. I'm just gonna make it better than it is right now. Like I said, the fork has a lot of wobble on it. It has a lot of flex, very little travel. All the grease is coming out, and just overall, this is not a good fork. It is not a good fork. So I'm gonna be ending up replacing all this, the handlebars as well, because even though these are oversized, they're actually pretty comfortable, but I prefer the 780s, and I'm gonna do that. Now, I don't know if I should do a longer stem on this bike, only because this is a little bit smaller than what I'm used to, but we'll see about that.
Why can I remove the dirt?
If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel, link down in the description. If you have any parts laying around and you want me to test them on this bike, I'd gladly do that. Just reach me out and we'll do something about that. Other than that, that is it for this one, guys. Let's keep riding, and I'll see you on the trails. Goodbye.
With the dirt.
Say goodbye.